Good day, everybody. Again, my name is Eric Leyland, and if this is your first time in these videos, this is the monthly marketing must for October. So each and every month, we go through some ideas for each month as to what is going on in the marketing landscape and talking about things to be prepared for, things to look out for. So as you can see on the screen, we're going to be talking about the holiday shopping season and advertising around this. So I think most of us realize that the holiday shopping season starts earlier and earlier. It is the beginning of October, so it's one of those times to really be thinking about what your marketing allocation is going to look like and make sure that those plans are in place, and they need to be in place pretty soon. So I wanted to go through this and kind of provide some context to the types of things that we see, what we learned from last year, and what we're going to take that into this year as we look at marketing during this time. So again, this is from our blog, and it's just kind of breaking down some of the early stats that we see for the coming season. So this article right here, the always on for holiday shopping, is actually coming from March Tech, and so this is just looking at what we look at in our industry in regards to being on. So when we see people online, we see these opportunities to make sure that we're targeting the message to them. That's what's beautiful about digital advertising is that message can reach lots of different audiences at different times of the year, but you can ramp up during the times when we know these interests really spike. So when we look at what's going on right now, there's a lot of data that suggests that people are engaged and that they're getting ready for the holiday season. And we know a lot of buyers are now getting into that understanding of Cyber Monday and the things that go into Black Friday. So again, Amazon's really changed the landscape of shopping for Christmas. And so again, this is where your marketing needs to layer in with consumer behaviors. So again, Basis Technologies has a lot of data that's helping our advertisers plan and execute these types of marketing buys. So we're seeing that there's a huge surge for these types of searches and these behaviors online, but there's also a surge in advertising dollars that are being put into this. So we know with the current economy, the way things are going, inflation is rising, but marketing spend is also rising. So especially within the digital channels, I was reading just recently that Facebook, the amount of ad spend has increased there. I think it was like 44%, but the impressions didn't meet that. So what we're seeing in Facebook and Google and some of these other walled gardens where advertising is being spent is that the spend is up, but the impressions and the amount of connections are not up. So we know that people are pouring more dollars into these areas, but getting less out of it. So it is incumbent upon our consultants and the job that we do to help our advertisers spend smartly. So one of the things that we wanted to do is provide an outlook for the holiday shopping season. So what this is a look at what we see going on from last year and the carryover to this year, and then a lot of data supporting what's going to happen. So you can download this or email me, and I can send this to you. But there's a lot of data. I'm not going to go through all this because, as you'll see in a second, there is a ton of information that's out here. So again, when we look at all the trends, all the analysis, what we want to first do is look at what happened in the past. So we have a lot of information about what went on in 2021, about buying behaviors, what people are looking for, their attitudes. Price obviously was a big influence on purchases. We're going to see that mirrored in 2022. So we're looking at, again, a lot of what happened last year, and there's going to be carryover that from that to this year. So last year we actually saw a pretty big rise in-store shopping out of 2020 and into 2021. We did see a growth of in-store shopping. It's still going to be dominated by online shopping. So what does that mean for you? So advertisers that work with retail or consumer goods, these are things that you have to take into mind that, again, we're seeing more people come back in line, but you still have to have that online shopping component so that you can reach that audience. So again, this is just good food for thought as we move into the new year of holiday shopping, that you have the ability to target those in-store, but also online. So again, forecasting for this coming year. So what we see is that there's still a lot of people planning to spend a good amount of dollars on the different seasons. We see that, again, retail sales are going to increase this coming year. And ultimately, a lot of that has to do with inflation, but also, again, just the trend line that we're seeing is that there is going to be an increase in spend when we look at 2022 in the holiday season. So when we look at this, one of the things that I wanted to call out is just the attitudes towards shopping this year. So I'm going to zoom in here for a little bit. So again, they're focused on pricing. So it's still holding over from last year. That price is a big indicator of what they're going to look at when making buying decisions. So again, what that means for you is that you want to make sure that you're price conscious, depending on the brand and what you're trying to accomplish. But this is in the mind frame of most people at 75%. This is an attitude that they have towards shopping this year. So we want to make sure that that's announced in what you're putting out there. It's what, again, the messaging is really focused on. So again, deals are a big part of what we see around Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So these are things, again, that you want to keep in mind that, people are planning to do a lot of shopping here. So again, there's a lot of marketing that needs to go into promoting what you have going on in Cyber Monday, even if you're not engaged with, selling online, or if your consumer goods are again, that duality of both online and in person. You want to make sure that you are layering in your advertising to really ramp up, because a lot of people are looking to do a lot of shopping on that Cyber Monday. So one of the other things that I think is important to understand, especially if you have advertisers or you're a brand that has both online and store shopping, is that the trend of picking up at the store or curbside is still going to be really, really pronounced in the idea of the consumer. So we see that 70% are still looking for that convenience of picking up an order. And again, that's just a trend that we saw from 2020 that's carrying on into 2021 and obviously now into 2022. So you want to make sure that if your messaging is, or if your advertising is, reaching out to these audiences, that you're mirroring that message to let people know. So again, what I wanted to provide in this video is just some ideas of what is it that's going on, what's changing, and where are we actually seeing 2022 shaping up. So we are seeing that there's going to be a growth in digital advertising. So again, this is the trend lines of what we see in percent of change. So we are seeing a 15% change in growth in digital spend year over year. So again, as we come out of the 2020 into 2021 and 22, we are seeing that growth again back to spending more in digital advertising. So that means you have to plan for this. You have to make sure that your budget is meeting the needs of the demand that's out there. So again, we're going to see a growth in that. One of the interesting things that we layered in here is online purchases of NFTs are going to be a hot item for this coming year. So if you're in this world of NFTs or crypto, these are things just to keep in mind that, again, the people are looking for it, and it's a way to provide those solutions to those that are looking for those types of connection points. So factors. So this goes into how can I reach those audiences effectively? Where are they at? And what is it the messaging can be to reach these people? So again, social media still makes up a huge percentage of where people make buying decisions. So Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, these are all channels that people are on, and they're on a lot. So you need to make sure your messaging is across all these different areas. Online advertising obviously is a big indicator of how people get information. So you need to be in these areas. So we know that, again, Facebook is getting more and more expensive. So you need to have bandwidth across each of these channels to make sure that your message is reaching out to those people that are in these areas. So we're going to look at the paid media analysis. So where is the money being spent, and where is it that you want to make sure that you're invested in? I'm going to end here on this slide. You can, again, have this sent to you. If you want to download it, we'll get it to you. But I wanted to provide some insight as to where people are spending dollars from what we saw last year and again, moving forward. So we can see that, TV and search engine marketing are big pieces of that pie. Radio or Facebook is another big piece of that, and it layers in. So these are, again, the areas that last year were part of the media mix. And again, as you look at this coming year, it's going to hold true to that as well. Again, each industry spends a little bit differently. So again, if you're in retail, you have to go heavy into digital. As you can see, a very big percentage of the budget is in digital compared to traditional. So that's where we as consultants at Basis help our advertising agencies, help our brands really understand what is it that's the right spot to be spending these dollars so that you can make informed decisions and make sure that you're being effective with the dollars that you're spending. So I like this slide because it speaks to where some of these big players are spending their dollars. So you can see, I thought it was interesting. Again, Domino's is heavily invested in TV. And when you look at TV, that landscape is changing. It's streaming is becoming more important. Connected TV advertising is really super important. So if your brand is a pizza chain and you have to compete with Domino's, then understanding that they're in these channels is important to make sure that your brands are in these channels as well. So Amazon, obviously heavy into search. They're doing a lot within the social media realms. Target and Walmart, they have a pretty diversified look at how they're spending their advertising. So again, you just want to make sure you're in all these different places. And that's why technology is really important. Again, basis helps with making sure that you're in all these areas intelligently. And then you have good strategies in each of these areas because there's so many complexities to each one of those. So that's what we help out with. So again, we just wanted to provide this. There's a lot of great information in our blog. But again, you can download this and use it to inform you as to where and what you should be spending on. So again, my name is Eric. I'm with Basis Technologies, and I hope you have a blessed season. And again, if you need any of this, just feel free to email me, and I'll get it over to you. So thanks, and have a blessed day.